everyone, today I'm going to be going through the makeup that I brought with me to my new apartment for this quarter of the school year. Since I have quite a large makeup collection and it's very cumbersome and unnecessary to bring all of it with me every time I come down here, I curate a little capsule collection that I use for the three and a half months that I am in slow for my quarter, and then I go home, I switch some stuff out, and that way I don't get bored, but I get to focus on certain products. It actually really helped me with my project panning last year and then earlier in this year because I brought the things I was panning and that was all I had to use, so I used it every single day. So I would like to start with my base, so I'll do stuff in the order that I do my makeup. So starting with primer, I only have one full-size primer in my collection, and so I just brought 3 mini ones, and then as I use them up, I'll throw them out. The first mini I have is almost empty actually. It's the Too Faced Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. I don't love this, I just wanted to use it up and figured if it's the only thing I have to use, I will definitely use it up. I also have the Hello Fab Pores Be Gone Matte Primer, which, again, not a huge fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of matte primers, but I had like 6 little mini matte primers in my collection, and since it's so hot and slow right now, I thought that this would be a good time to use them. And then lastly, I have the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, which I love, and I'm using very specifically with one of the foundations that I brought, just so that I have a little bit of balance and I don't only have matte products. Also, I have like a little backup bag that I will also show you, but I'm not considering that a part of the capsule collection. Those are just things that I brought in case I run out of any of these things, so these aren't what I'm using on a daily basis, but I will talk about that bag at the end. So for foundations, I have this mini, like teeny tiny size of the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation in the shade, Medium Sand. And my stepmom gave me this. She got it in like an Ipsy and it didn't match her, so she gave it to me. And it's nice, and I use it with the Photo Finish Primerizer. It's what I'm wearing today. I look really pale in this lighting because it's quite foggy outside, but it actually matches my arms quite well. And then next I have the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk in the shade Light Medium, which I also enjoy, but I don't know if I'll repurchase it. Goes nicely with those mattifying primers though. Then for powder, I brought the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage. This I had unopened, and so I finished up my last loose face powder, and so this is my only loose powder left, so I decided to bring it, and I really like this powder. I've had it before. Next, for brows, what I have been using is a combination of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe, the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel in the shade Taupe. I actually got these as a set, and I was using the Dip Brow Gel and saving this for a trip or travel or something, and since all travel has been postponed indefinitely because of coronavirus, I have just started using it, and if I really want a brow pencil the next time I go on a trip, I'll go buy one from e.l.f. or something like that. Then I tend to go in with bronzer, so for bronzer I brought the Park Avenue Princess Chisel Palette from Tarte, and I don't know if you can see, I have gotten a fair amount of use on these 2 shades in the middle, and I have a pretty significant dip in this highlight shade, but right now I'm really focusing on these 2 deeper shades while I am quite tan. These 2 shades work pretty nicely for me right now, so I am trying to get good use out of these 2 while I can. I totally forgot about my concealer. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. This is the only concealer I have, and so I brought it. I do really like it, but I think I want to try a different concealer next time, and I might go back to this later. Then next, I brought 2 blushes because they're 2 very distinct tones. The first is the Tarte mini in the shade Party Dress, which is very like corally peach. And I do really like this blush, but I haven't gotten much use out of it, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to do that. Also, since the bronzer has a little bit of shimmer in it, I prefer a matte blush, so I thought this would be perfect. And then I also have the Lorac blush in the shade Chroma, which is a beautiful, like, plummy mauve. And I've actually had this blush for a very long time, and it doesn't seem to ever show any use, so I thought that this would be a good opportunity to bring it down. It is what I am wearing today, and I quite like it. Next we have highlighter, and the highlighter I will use on a daily basis is the Becca Shimmering Skin Pressed in the shade Opal. This specific one has a whole story behind it. I ended up repressing it into a different Becca container. So now it looks like this. It is kind of crumbling along the edges, so I do want to get this used up before it completely shatters on me. Then, just another random one, I do have this Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. As you can see, I was panning it, so I have some marks on it, and I like it. I don't think primer is an absolutely necessary step, so I don't think I will ever repurchase it, but it is what it is. Then the last face product before I get into exclusively eyes, I have two facial sprays. I have the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. I like this. I don't love it. My mom bought it for me because she thought I loved it, and so I'll use it up. And then I don't know what I'll do, but it is nice. And then I also have the Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray, which I do really love, and it's hurting my heart because I feel like I only have like this much left in this one, so I'll have to repurchase that soon, and that's always a little bit of a pain. Oh, I totally forgot about my Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Kitten, which is not a flattering tone for me. It looks stunning, and I do really like this highlighter, but the base behind the reflex is a little bit too dark, so when I put it on, it looks weird, like I put bronzer under my highlighter, and then when I look a certain way, it looks like dark and light at the same time. But usually my body is much deeper than my face, and also since it's a cream product and I tend to prefer cream products for this, I will rub it into my shoulders. I don't actually have any on today. Let's fix that. And just rub a little bit in, and then I feel a little bit healthier, a little bit more glowy, and I just kind of like that look. For eyeshadow palettes, I decided to bring two. The first is the love of my life. It is the Tati Beauty Texture Neutrals Volume 1. Every time I open this palette, I feel intense feelings. I love all of the tones in here. I actually never used to really wear any sort of orange eyeshadows, and then I started playing with this row, and I've kind of fallen in love with that. I'm still playing around with it. It's definitely not an everyday look for me. And I do reach into probably the glitters the most of all, because even if I'm doing an eyeshadow look, completely different palette, sometimes I'll reach into Aura or Soothe those glitters, and I'll just kind of like pat it on the center of the lid, and I just love the way it adds to every look. And then the second palette I brought is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. So this is another palette that whenever I open it, I feel feelings, and it's a bit newer. So I decided that between this one and the Tati Beauty, the tones flatter each other. I can get everyday wearable looks out of both of them, but I also like this red, could go very beautifully with that orange. The shade Trust Fund is like an orangey based gold that has kind of a pink shift to it. I thought that would work really well with the orange row in the Tati Beauty story, the story row. And so I thought, and then this mole, this like, it's called a risque, but this like purpley shade could work very nicely with the purple row, so I thought they would be pretty together, and I love them both separately. Then, still kind of eyeshadow, I brought 3 of my Stila Magnificent Metals, 2 minis, and a full size, so I brought the Glitter and Glow in the shade Kitten Karma, which is very close to being out. The main reason why I brought it is because I pulled the stopper out of it. It doesn't have stopper anymore, and I'm just kind of enjoying the last little bits of it before it A, completely dries out and goes to crap, or B, I end up using it up. So I have the Glitter and Glow in the shade Smoky Storm. Again, these are all kind of drying up, and I thought this would be fun with the cooler tones of the Beauty palette. And then the Shimmer and Glow in the shade Jezebel, which is a beautiful rose gold color that I love just kind of blending over the lid and then being done. Then for eyeliners, I brought 5, which was excessive. Okay. I brought 2 browns, just because they're both little, and I do wear brown eyeliner the most often in my opinion. The Lancome, Le Crayon Coal in the shade Black Coffee, which was a mini. I have not used much of this up. And the Cargo Swimmables in the shade. I'm 99% sure this was the shade Pebble Beach. I also have the Cargo Swimmables in the shade Lake Como, which is a beautiful, vibrant blue that I do love right on the lower lash line. I have the Wet n Wild Kohl eyeliner pencil in the shade Black, which I was trying to pan earlier in this year, and then I have the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper, because I have like 4 mini liquid liners. I don't wear liquid liner that often, but I thought I would bring one, because even if I don't use it here, I'm not going to use it for sure if it's at my mom's. Then I brought 2 cream shadow sticks. The first is the Nude Sticks Magnetic Luminous Eye Color in the shade Twilight, which is a beautiful, like, metallic taupe. I thought that would go really pretty with the cooler tone in the Huda Beauty palette and the Glitter Glow in the shade Smoky Storm. Sorry, I'm shedding. And then I also have the Cargo Swimmables in the shade Morro Bay, which I brought for 2 reasons. One, it is a stunning, it's like a plummy bronze, if that makes any sort of sense. The mascara duo that I'm currently using is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Primer, which I had in my collection and thought might as well use it. And then the Mile High Club from Wander Beauty, which I love. I have a ton of mascaras and mini samples in my collection, so I'm not going to be able to purchase it anytime soon, unfortunately, but I'm going to love every last bit of product out of this before I have to throw it away. And then I brought 2, technically these should go in the backup section, but I keep them with the rest of my makeup because as the Wander Beauty starts to dry out, I'll introduce one of these, and I tend to kind of cocktail my mascaras as one's drying out, and then I introduce a fresh one. I'm high maintenance. But I brought some minis of the Pure Fully Charged Mascara and the Benefit Bad Gal Bang because I'd heard good things, but I've never tried these, so thought might as well bring them. Then I have a lot of lip products. Lip products bring me a lot of joy in life, so I am not restricting myself on them. I brought the Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in the shade Clear. I just want to use this up, and so I'm planning on putting this in some sort of project pan. The Huda Beauty Lip Contour in the shade Trophy Wife, which I love. It's a beautiful mauve right there, but it's like definitely a deeper mauve, so it goes nicely with some of the lighter shades I have in my collection. The Italia Deluxe Lip Liner in the shade Nude. I got this off of Amazon. I don't know where else you can buy Italia Deluxe. These lip liners are starting to get a little bit older in my collection too, and so I want to start really focusing on them. And the Revlon Color Stay Lip Liner in shade Fuchsia, which I thought would be nice because I do like a bright fuchsia lip. So I'm wearing today, but I didn't need this today, so that's that shade right there. Then I have a few lip crayon, lip pencil type products. I have the Bite Beauty lip crayon in the shade Glacé, which has been untouched. I panned one of these earlier this year. It's a beautiful mauve color. I have the Lock Pro matte lip color in the shade Magenta, which is a beautiful kind of berry tone. It's not, I wouldn't consider this a magenta. I would consider this a berry, but it is beautiful, especially for fall and winter. And then I have what I'm wearing today, which is the Lacquer & Co. Cloud Lips in shade Sun Shower, which I love a bright fuchsia lip. Then I have two tinted lip balms. I have the L'Oreal Nude Balm in the shade Plush Plum, which is a plummy, sheer, shimmery shade. And then I have the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Fast Lane. Both of these are nice to wear under a mask or whatever. Then I have 4 liquid lipsticks. I have this little mini one from Sephora that's a brown, and I wanted to play around with some more lip colors that I'm not super comfortable in, so I thought I would bring this and maybe try it out a day or two, since I tend to be a little bit more adventurous with my makeup when I am at college than when I'm with my parents. Then I have the NARS Mini Velvet Lip Glide in the shade Staying Alive, which is a beautiful plum, kind of similar to that. In the rock shade, I have the Bite Amuse Bouche liquid lipstick in the shade Flambe. This is expired. I can smell it. It smells like just not quite right, but I have so little left in here that I kind of am considering panning this. It is a beautiful orangey red. Then I have the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in the shade Muse, and I also love this. Just kind of dab in the center and blend out, and then have kind of an effortless look. Then as far as lipsticks go, I have the Nude Stick Nudies Matte Cream in the shade Naughty and Spice, which is kind of a brownie mauve nude shade. I put it on in the Get Ready With Me that was up on Tuesday. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills mini lipstick in the shade Spice, which is a lovely terracotta nude shade right there. I have the MAC Aladdin collaboration in the shade Princess Incognito, which is a perfect peachier nude. This one's definitely more terracotta, this one's more peachy. Also perfect to kind of dab and then blend into the lip. And then I have the MAC Cruella de Vil collaboration in the shade Innocence But Wear. I have so little left of this, so I thought this is a good shade to just kind of pop in the center of the lip if I have one of these on or a different, any sort of lip liner on, and it just kind of adds a little bit of light. Then I have 3 lip glosses that I'm not going to swatch because that's a whole kerfuffle. The Buxom Lip Cream in the shade Mudslide is one of my favorites. I have like this much left of it. It is not much. We'll probably use it up this year. The Clinique Lip Gloss in the shade Rosewater Pop. Also a very pretty shade. I've only worn it a handful of times, but it is a mini. And then the Fenty Beauty Mini Gloss Balm in the shade Fenty Glow. Also stunning. Those are all of the products that I keep in my main storage unit. It's that right there. And I will insert a picture right here of what it looks like when I have everything organized nicely in it. And then I am going to go through the little, I bought and fit all of my makeup in this bag. And then there are a few just random things that I keep in here in case I run out of something. So first I have another Hello Fab Pores Be Gone matte primer. This one's completely full. I have a Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation in the shade 212 Light Neutral, which I also like. This is a little bit lighter than the CoverGirl foundation, and that's why I'm wearing that one now, and I'll roll in this one when I finish that up. I have the Creme Shop Eyebrow Pom Pom in the shade Taupe, which as you can see, I have a lot of use on. I pan, and then I'm working my way slowly out to this side. This will probably take me a few more years to use up, but I do really enjoy it. I have a Clinique tinted lip balm in the shade Black Honey. So in case I run out of those tinted lip balms, I have something to put under my mask. I have the liquid lipsticks in the shade, it's the NARS in the shade Swing, which is a beautiful light peachy nude. And then the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in the shade Babe Alert. I love that Babe Alert shade. I had a full size that unfortunately dried out on me. And then I have glosses in the shade, it's the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Angel Food Cake. I love this shade. The Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie in the shade Aficionado, which is a corally shade, a lot like the Clinique gloss. I have the Buxom lip creams in the shades Peach Daiquiri and Hot Toddy. So I do love this formula. I have so many of them. That is everything. That is all that I brought. Now that I'm looking at it all laid out, it does seem like a lot, but I am sure I will use up at least 5 or 6 of the lip products. Especially the few of them that are definitely running out, and I'm going to get some great use out of the other products that I brought, and I'm very excited to be playing all this for the next few months. Please let me know if you would like me to do this again next quarter. I thought this could be a fun series every 3 months or so, and also please let me know if you have tried any of these, if you have thoughts on them, or if you have recommendations for what I can do with the products that I bought. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.